Today is March 27th, 2024, and this is the weekly update on the war between Israel and the Hamas terrorist organization. Shalom, my friends. This is Akiva with Israel in 5, where we give you everything Israel in 5 minutes. Please like and subscribe, and if you have any questions or want to keep the conversation going, please do so below in the comments. Many things happening here in this war between Israel and Hamas, which began on October 7th after a brutal and barbaric cross-border attack by the Hamas terrorist organization into Israeli communities along the Gazan border. Israel offered yet again another ceasefire hostage deal with Hamas, which Hamas rejected, saying that they will only accept a deal that calls for a permanent end to this war, which Israel obviously cannot agree to. Hamas knows that. Israel knows that this war can only end with the dismantling of the Hamas terror infrastructure and organization in the Gaza Strip and making sure that they are no longer in power. So nothing like October 7th could ever happen again to the Israeli people. In past few days to a week, Israeli soldiers have been operating in and around the Shifa Hospital in the Gaza Strip, where Hamas has basically placed hundreds and up to 1,000 terrorist operatives throughout the hospital complex, posing as nurses and civilians. Israel has already neutralized many of these terrorists, almost up to 200 of them, and has arrested hundreds, between 500 and 800 of them, interrogating many of them, and getting incredible information and intelligence from these interrogations, showing just how deeply rooted and grounded Hamas has been in this hospital, and how they are using the entire hospital complex as one giant human shield, endangering the civilians both inside the hospital as well as around. The attack into the Rafah region in the southern part of Gaza still has not been launched. We thought many weeks ago it would have been, but it is a very complex and complicated situation there, with so many Gazan civilians in the area, and Israel still has yet to fully launch that mission into southern Gaza, where it knows the last remaining battalions of Hamas terrorists are located. Israel has said this is a battle that will happen. It is just a matter of time, but in order to defeat Hamas once and for all, this is a place that Israel will have to go into, and Israel has already gotten much negative feedback and pressure from the international community around this, including the U.S. So things are very sensitive and very tricky, but at the same time, Israel is very clear in its intentions to go forward with this operation, with this mission in southern Gaza. It's just a matter of time. In the north, between the border between Israel and Lebanon, on the border between Israel and Lebanon, things continue to heat up. More and more rockets are being shot at Israel by the Hezbollah terrorist organization, deeper and deeper into Israel. Just today or yesterday, about 50 rockets were shot at an area called the Meron Mountain, where there's an air traffic control base on top of that mountain, and Israel keeps hitting deeper and deeper into Lebanon as a result. Still tens of thousands of Israelis who live in the communities along the border with Lebanon still have not yet returned home, living in hotels and other living situations around the country, waiting to come home, but know that it is not yet safe. And that day is probably still far off when they actually can go back to their homes and their communities and feel safe and secure there. The UN Security Council just passed a resolution calling for a ceasefire, as well as release of hostages. In this situation, America did not veto it. They abstained from the vote, which created a lot of political chatter and political conflict even between America and Israel. Again, Israel and supporters of Israel see the call for a ceasefire in this war as allowing the Hamas terror organization to remain in power once this war is done, which again is something that Israel cannot and will not allow. that being its goal from the very, very onset of this war, immediately after the October 7th attack. That's the update for now here in this region. As always, we appreciate your prayers and your support, your thoughts, and your help in any kind of way for Israel, for the Israeli people. Israel continues to do what it needs to do, both militarily and in terms of its civilian population, supporting the military. And this war continues on. It is, as we've said before, Israel's now Israel's second longest war. Very, very difficult and challenging, being that it is taking place in a very, very dense urban environment in the Gaza Strip, fighting terrorists just as civilians, just as nurses, as we said before, and embedded literally in the civilian population, using them as human shields. We hope for a quick end to this war and an end to this war that includes the full dismantling of the Hamas terror organization. Again, thank you for your prayers and for your support.